What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mag. So, of course, there is some massive news broken since last night. And again, of course, more big news today as well. The news coming, of course, from Craig Hope saying that Newcastle are in a chase for Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest. Now, I've already said in the past my thoughts on Elanga, and I have said that he would be a really good player when you put him into the style that Eddie Howe plays here at Newcastle. And of course, there's then the added bonus as well that he is massive friends and international teammate with Alexander Isak as well. So that, when you look at it, it would be absolutely huge for us going forward. And then there's news today of Joao Pedro of Brighton also being linked with Newcastle. And Joao Pedro's been linked with Newcastle in the past. Of course, Fabrizio Romano put out that infamous tweet where he said that it was a done deal, here we go, and it was all greenlit, and then were pulled out of the deal so that we could go and sign Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad. Of course, which not going to regret that one single bit. But now we are once again looking at bringing Joao Pedro to Newcastle United, and Anthony Elanga as well is also being linked with the move to Newcastle United as well. But there's another one that I want to throw in here, and he hasn't been linked with Newcastle United yet, but you might have guessed it by the thumbnail of the video. Rafael Leão of AC Milan. Obviously, they're not going to be in the Champions League next season. I don't think they're in Europe next season at all. So Rafael Leão is wanting away from AC Milan. AC Milan are wanting at least 70 million euros for Rafael Leão. So that's going to be about nigh on 60 million pounds. That is a pretty good deal when you look at what this lad can do. But let's jump into it. Let's look at Joao Pedro first. Let's look at what Joao Pedro has done so far from his time moving from Watford to, of course, Brighton. Well, at Watford in his Premier League season, he managed to get 4 goals and assists. So 3 goals and 1 assist in his first season in the Premier League at Watford. This is for Joao Pedro, of course. And then you look at Joao Pedro for Brighton. In his first season at Brighton, he managed to get 9 goals and 3 assists, 12 goal contributions by goals and assists alone in the 23-24 season. If you look at it, the Europa League for the 23-24 season, which was when, of course, they got into Europe, Brighton, and he managed to score 6 goals in that Europa League. Of course, obviously, that would be a good omen for European football. And then looking at what he did just the season gone there, he managed to get an assist in the FA Cup. And then you look at the league, and he contributed 16 goals to Brighton's campaign last season. 10 goals and 6 assists. 16 goal contributions by Joao Pedro for Brighton last season. That, is in a Brighton side where they struggled at times throughout the season. Put them into a Newcastle United side where we're attacking mindset. We've got some more creative players there than what Brighton have got. The likes of Bruno, the likes of Sandro Tonali. Put him around players like that, and he's probably going to double them goal contributions, for a team like us. So that would be a massive player to have in our line going into next season. And then let's move on to Anthony Elanga and look at the stats for Anthony Elanga, of course. And Anthony Elanga got his breakout season at Man United back in the 2021 season, and he only managed to get 1 goal in that season, but fast forward to his move to Nottingham Forest, and in his first season at Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, he managed to get 14 goal contributions, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 goal contributions in his first season in Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. Then fast forward again to just last season, the season just gone, and it's 17 goal contributions, 6 goals and 11 assists from Anthony Elanga. Massive player he was for Nottingham Forest last season, one of the pivotal players to why they are playing European football this season, of course, alongside the likes of Chrissy Wood and Elliot Anderson, obviously being pivotal to that as well. So Anthony Elanga would be a massive player to see join the club, and I can see why we are looking at him. The same goes for Joao Pedro as well. I can see why we are looking at him, why we are looking at these players, because they're fast, they can get in there, they track back, they go forward, they're attacking mindset players, they play as a team as well, and if they can get them numbers at the likes of Brighton and Nottingham Forest, you know, for Joao Pedro and Elanga, to get them numbers at them clubs, what would they do at Newcastle United? Well, like I've said, we've got a lot more creative players at Newcastle, so you'd be looking at maybe double, you know, the goal contributions at what they are getting at them teams already. So they would be massive signings. But let's move on to a one that hasn't been linked to Newcastle United, but of course a player that I would definitely be interested in seeing join Newcastle United, and that is Rafael Leão. While not directly linked, he has expressed a desire to leave AC Milan. The Italian club's asking for at least 70 million euros, so that's about 60 million pounds, and is definitely one to watch. Top clubs across Europe will be monitoring his situation, but it would definitely be a player that I would be interested in seeing. He's got the attributes of European football as well. I mean, looking at his first season in the Champions League, which was back in the 21-22 campaign, he managed to get 2 goal contributions, a goal and an assist in his first season in the Champions League. Then you fast forward to the next season in the Champions League, which was the 22-23 season. He managed to get 5 goal contributions, 1 goal and 4 assists. But looking at the 21-22 campaign for the league, he managed 21 goal contributions, 11 goals and 10 assists in the 21-22 campaign for the Serie A. And then you go on to fast forward to the season after that, which was the 22-23 campaign, again improving on his goal contributions to make it 23 goal contributions, 15 goals and 8 assists. And then you fast forward to just this season gone, where in the Champions League he managed to get 4 goal contributions, 3 goals and 1 assist, and then in the league 16 goal contributions, 8 goals, 8 assists for Rafael Leão. So definitely a player that I would be interested in seeing join Newcastle United. But we are looking at, like I say, Joao Pedro, Anthony Elanga, and then if you throw in my thought of Rafael Leão, that could be an absolutely amazing attacking line. We're going to need to add depth to the squad, and these are the kinds of players that we should be looking at. Obviously, we're already looking at Joao Pedro and Anthony Elanga, but maybe it's worth a shout at having a look at Rafael Leão as well at AC Milan. I mean, them numbers speak for themselves. The ability as well. We've played Rafael Leão when we played in the Champions League, and I was impressed. He was a really good player. But what does this mean for NUFC? What does this mean for Newcastle United going into next season? Well, Eddie is clearly focused on injecting pace, versatility and goal threat into the front line to add to the likes of Anthony Gordon and Alexander Isak and Harvey Barnes and Jacob Murphy, etc. in that attacking line already. The club appears ready to spend big this summer, signaling a bold start to recruiting strategies going into this massive season where we are once again in the Champions League. We've just had a really, really good season, of course, of finally ending that 70-year wait, 56 years, of course, since we last won a trophy. And finally, that is now in the back. It's in the past, and we've now done that. We can now move on, and hopefully we can start seeing, the club winning trophy after trophy. But this is definitely a patient game. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to take time because we don't want to be rushing in and blowing the load too early on signings. We don't want to be blowing that big chunk of money that we have to go out there and bring in top talent. We need to be using our brains here. We need to spend wisely. We want to do it the way we've been doing it, because that's been the best way to go about it. We haven't, touch wood, haven't bought a dud yet. And ones that people would say are duds, we've profited off them, the likes of Lloyd Kelly to Juve, Chrissy Wood, to Nottingham Forest, and so on. Some of the ones that people would say were duds. But this is definitely something that we're going to have to watch very closely on the Joao Pedro thing and on the Anthony Elanga one. And maybe, have a look at Rafael Leão as well. That would maybe be a shout from my side on that in my thoughts. Looking at the numbers there, seems like he could do a lot in our setup going forward. But stay tuned. This could be a very busy window, and it's shaping up to be a very busy window as well, as we are in day 7 of the first window, and then we've got right the way through to September, so there's plenty of time for to get them fresh new players across the line and head into a absolutely crazy season back in the Premier League, back in the Champions League, sorry, and every chance of getting a really, really good season once again. But anyway, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below on everything's mentioned in this video. Let us know, do you also believe, like me, Rafael Leão would be a good signing for the team? And also, what's your thoughts on Joao Pedro and Anthony Elanga as well? And I'll see you all for the next one. However, lads.